Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the rundown. We are both very frustrated. I'm very frustrated. Brian's just laughing at my suffering. We got what 15 minutes in, and then the fucking power on my end cut out, and I lost the whole ass recording.
RIP. We totally have only done this once so far. This is our first time.
Yeah, back to the rundown, everybody. We're gonna go over the two things we talked about beforehand, probably a little brief, like over a little faster this time because we've practiced far and so forth. Starting with
Yeah, so our thoughts are honed.
yeah,
Go ahead.
starting with they're making a Shrek 5.
Whoa.
Yeah, so Shrek 1, one of the greatest animated movies of all time. Shrek 2 did what very few sequels are able to do and be better than the original. And then you had Shrek 3, which while it didn't live up to while it did eclipse the second and the first, it was an excellent movie, well written, well voice acted, and it was, I think, on par with the first movie and a great send off to the series. And then because sequel bait demands sequel bait, you have Shrek Forever After,
Didn't
which
know
is
this existed.
yeah, it's just timey-wimey bullshit being based off of Shrek. I'm gonna just drop spoilers because it's been out. This movie has been out for like over a decade, so shut the fuck up. It's essentially just Shrek. Rumpelstiltskin wants to rule the fucking world. Shrek is having a midlife crisis because he's married with triplets, and his day is like boring because of monotony or whatever, and he's having a midlife crisis and wants to feel like a real over again. And basically Rumpelstiltskin, he makes it so everybody forgets him, like his fame and shit. 'Cause it's like one of the most famous people in the fucking world because he's the in-laws for like kings and shit, and then he found a lost king or whatever in the third movie. And yeah, it's basically, and it's all and it's and instead of and like basically the entire movie is like stemming from this midlife crisis, like timey-wimey multiverse bullshit where the world is like warped. Rumpelstiltskin basically was never born, and like Fiona is now leading a rebellion of ogres and shit. It's not a great It's not a great
And
movie.
excuse me, we're kind of on Shrek 5. Maybe it'll be good, but I don't
I
know.
Because here's the thing, right? Like, I think one of the issues with Shrek 4 ultimately was that in all of the movies up until that point, there was an undercurrent of like relatability, like stages in life. Being alone, being a bachelor, kind of not enjoying necessarily being alone, but like having accepted it, and like finding someone who loves you, matches your freak, and finding someone you love, and that's a very relatable experience. That's a very human experience. The second is you know meeting the in-laws, meeting being in a environment that class wise you're not familiar with, and like the uncomfortabilities of being like a poor working class person. Now you're in like high society and shit, and that's all like that's very relatable. And wanting your in-laws to like you, wanting to do everything to like be more acceptable to your partner because you see them because they're kind of out of your league. That's a very human trait in understanding have. The third movie, like the fear of becoming a parent, and becoming a father, and like being worried, are you going to repeat the mistakes of the past? Are you going to be a good parent? Like, are you worried you're going to like those are very human worries. And daddy issues is another undercurrent there, and stuff like
Evan,
that.
are you trying to tell me that time travel and reversing people's births aren't an everyday human experience?
Well, my thing is that all of these things that I've talked about, like, these were happening parallel to the plot.
No, I know.
Like this were there was an overarching plot that was happening. Like this was like these aspects were the B plot. These were the B
Mhm.
plot. The B plot, in that sense, like yes, Shrek and stuff were fuck around with fairy godmother trying to get like look handsome and shit. But like ultimately, that was not the main plot of what was going on in the story per se. At least that's what I felt. Like the main plot was like fairy godmother, the adversary, was trying to fucking get rid of Shrek and enforce a marriage with Prince Charming. That's the second movie.
I haven't seen these movies in so long. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's why I'm not
Yeah,
contributing much.
you're good. And the first movie was about Shrek getting the magical creatures out of his fucking swamp. That was the primary uh story but the problem is that like the B plot was the catalyst for what became the A plot for the A plot in Shrek 4, which I think is another thing that kind of makes it feel not as good because like basically for the entirety of Shrek Forever After, like his midlife crisis shit has like a montage at the beginning and then it's like barely kind of like touched upon for the rest of the movie. It's really not a thing. It's like
Yeah.
it's not like that midlife crisis of just like I'm like I don't feel like there's any variety in my life. Like I'm happy, I love like what I am, but I want to just feel I'm nostalgic for a past that I'm forgetting I was miserable with. That through line is not there throughout the entire movie, which is a big reason why I think even with all the timing might be bullshit, it suffers. So, like I said, not a lot of hope, if any at all, for Shrek 5.
Yeah, depending on who the writers are, maybe it'll be good, but not too sure. We'll see. We'll see.
I have to go let the dog out. Give me 1 second. I've kidnapped a child to bring with me. For those
And
listening,
there's a kitty.
he's still your cat's still in the cone of shame. I see.
Yep. He has been in there for months. A poor kitten. He's like, Father, you have disgraced us.
He's a kiwi. But yeah, that was the Shrek stuff. Moving on to the other part that we lost is Ryan, have you ever heard of the sketch controversy that happened?
Man, do I want to go to sleep? No, I haven't heard it. I didn't hear about it before we started talking about it. Then the power went out. So, long story short, and I'm not explaining the whole story. I'm just saying from my perspective, this controversy doesn't really make sense. Nobody's really being hurt so far. Milkshake duck situation is always there. If you don't know what that is, look it up. You're looking it up.
Yeah.
Long story short, milkshake duck is in internet culture. A milkshake duck is a person who gains popularity on social media for some positive or charming trait, but is later revealed to have a distasteful history or to engage in offensive behavior. Jesus. So.
All right, but basically in a nutshell, the sketch situation here can be best described as
people flipping over nothing.
Yeah. So for those who are unaware of sketch, here is a clip reel of some funny folks. Here's a clip reel of sketch and some funny bits of his.
1 for 15. That's what I would have probably.
I just think 1 for 15 is horrible now.
1 for 15. That's what I would have probably graded your haircut after you got it. But that's between you and the lady at Great Clips. Great lady.
First off, it's big league haircut.
I'm lady. Sure. How long did it take? Like 20 seconds. Okay.
How long did it take? 20 seconds.
Okay. Give me a weed whacker. I can do the same shit. what I like to do is when I go use the restroom, when I have to go to the
Delivery
gym,
is cold,
is I
bro.
parlay it with taking a shower. So I never really have to wipe my ass. I just get in the shower. Fun fact, Jinxie's haircut came with a tap-out shirt. It also came with a mouthpiece with fangs on.
Dude, if he did stand-up, he would kill it. He would
When
crush.
did you realize you were like, shit, I got motion, twin?
Says Burf.
That's birth.
Since birth.
You see my release off the line. It is a phenomenal route.
Dude, I love it.
He's goofy. He's funny as shit. So
Yeah.
So basically, just to get you caught up before we look at this fucking apology video, Sketch was apparently a model in somebody's OnlyFans page, a gay OnlyFans page, and I remember hearing about the Sketch allegations, Sketch controversy, all that. I'm like, oh, I can't believe Sketch did that. All in the fucking comments of like TikTok and shit. I'm like, who the fuck is Sketch and what did he do? And I just googled Sketch, and this was the video, the TikTok I just showed you was the video that popped up, like a compilation of like all the funny shit he said. I'm like, oh, this guy's fucking great. He's funny as shit. And I'm like, what the fuck did he do? And then I went on Google directly and looked at, not on Google, on TikTok, and I saw like a few different streamers who he's associated with, like Queso, Kaisina, Jinxie, like comment on it on their streams. I'm like, they're like, yeah, who gives a shit? And they like ultimately, like, you know, the gaming sphere like should be one of the least right-wing spaces on the internet, because like so many games just like have the undercurrent of them is like freedom,
Do whatever you
anti-authoritarian,
want.
and like
Creative.
just like in like the plots of games are like freedom, anti-authoritarian, don't be a dick, treat like freedom for the oppressed, all that shit. Like these are the undercurrents, and then you have the Call of Duty community.
Not even the Call of Duty community. I would
No,
say like
that's just the community that I like throw out. Like when I'm like, oh, here's the racist homophobes. Now I'm not. Now granted,
no. Of course.
not
I know
everybody,
what you mean.
not everybody that plays Call of Duty is being racist and homophobic. But like one of the biggest creators in that space, Nick Merckx, like he fucking equates homosexuality with child predation. So, you know,
Yeah.
once you're at that, once you've drunk the Kool-Aid to that level, and you're one of the biggest creators in that space, like come on, dude. But I digress. I also saw a lot of people comparing Sketch in this case to Dr. Disrespect, which I think like is absurd.
Yeah, not even close.
Because like it's funny because like, a lot of the people who I see going after Sketch for bottoming in gay porn were kind of hand wavy on the Dr. Disrespect allegations, and I'm like, that's insane. It
That
is not
genuinely insane.
at no
That
at
makes
no
my jaw drop.
yeah. This shit is not about fucking protecting the children. Otherwise, y'all would have wanted like Dr. Disrespect to be buried under a fucking prison. No, it's about hating gay people. That's all it's about. But moving on, this is his full apology. We're going to watch a good chunk of it, I think, and then I think we'll move on. Just this because I want to bring this up because, like, A, he shouldn't have to apologize for this sex work before. Of course, this is a sex work positive channel, and two, this is like a masterclass example on like PR management. This man hopped on a live stream. This was a live stream originally, and did this verbatim.
God damn, where were y'all before? Fuck! Elephant in the room, I got a haircut.
That's funny as shit.
Just a great beginning.
Wasn't planning on doing this today, but I guess so. Okay, I'll start from the top. Look at this, open and honest. That was me. That was me. It's okay, though. I will tell you what. Okay. 2 years ago, I did some stuff. I'm sorry if you've seen some of the stuff. You know, I'm a changed person. This is going worse than I thought it was. So 2 years ago, I did not have sexual relations with that man. I'm just kidding. I did. Possibly. Cat's out of the bag.
Fun fact, that little clip there, I did not have sexual relations with that man. Actually, I did. Possibly. Gets out of that. Like that snippet, that's turned into a whole ass TikTok sound.
Oh yeah, I bet that's all awesome.
It's okay. What else do I have to say? I don't know. Thank you to all my people that have been sticking up for me. I understand if you're mad. Shit hit the fan. I don't go on Twitter. I deleted. I'm just kidding. I didn't delete Twitter. I have been.
Yeah. Twitter's pledged we get the Reichstag at present, and they're not. They were kind of lighting him up over there, if I'm being honest.
I believe it. They're all Elon Musk fanboys, so makes sense.
I just, as far as like Twitter's concerned, I don't really use Twitter too much. I engage more on Threads just because they have an algorithm and that kind of helps. And preferably, I like Blue Sky. I like Blue Sky a lot.
Cautiously avoiding it. It's like fucking landmines everywhere I go. Okay, I was dealing with some addiction problems. A couple of them. But, no excuse there. What, I guess. Just trying to give you some background here. What else was I gonna say? Yeah, that was me. I fucked up. I won't do it again.
Kind of the gist of it.
Pretty much. Yeah, the situation shouldn't even be talked about. The fact that it's even being compared to the Dr. Disrespect situation is absolute brain rot insanity. Calling it out right there.
It is. It's patently absurd, ultimately, because let's be so fucking for real. Let's be so fucking for real, right? It's the people's issue with this is that if he had gotten, if he was fucking a woman or whatever in that clip, it wouldn't
have been 1/10 of the controversy.
None.
They would have been like, "Oh, or she ugly," literally.
Yeah, it's literally just because he's gay. It's the most manly man. And here's the thing I want to remind everybody: if you ever watched porn, the men, those vaguely the men in those that you're watching blast the back out of a woman you find attractive, all of those men have either given it or taken it in gay porn, because being a porn star pays like shit.
So much better.
And the pay is so much fucking better. So
yeah.
So at the end of the day, it's the sex work. The sex industry it's incredibly exploitative and harmful, but sex workers are not. That's just the distinction. So, also you did and we did a whole tangent about how sex work is good and stuff, and you had a friend of yours from high school who actually has an OnlyFans. If you wanted to shout her out again, just out of respect, because we lost that originally.
My friend Nikki LaFay, if you guys would like to check that out, just supporting the homegirl, for back home. That's all. Yeah.
Last thing I want to show.
It's not like he made that content, but
last thing I want to show on this is I think Philip DeFranco kind of did a perfect example here. Philip DeFranco show, 20 seconds, and then we're gonna move on to the next topic.
It's not like he made that content, but he's known for saying that like gay people shouldn't have rights. And I'm personally of the mindset of
Yeah, that's the other big thing. He's not like one of those like gay pastors that, rails in sermons against gay people and brimstone and fire all the shit, and then 6 months
It's
after,
loud in the streets, but gay in the sheets.
basically.
anyone that attacked.
Yeah, I think just the worst fucking thing about this is that Sketch got like outed without his consent. Like that's kind
Yeah.
of like the hard part. I think that's like the thing that like pisses me off. Like obviously, like he was probably scared of coming out because of like he wasn't sure how his fucking community. He's a fucking Madden Street dog.
But I
that's-
will say, as fucked up as this is, not that it should be expected, but people who do online adult content, at least I don't know about him because it was a one-time thing. It was a guest appearance. It wasn't his own page. That whole thing.
He also said that, by the way, that like he said that he was like having suicidal thoughts and stuff on the lead up to this. Like that was something he said in that video. And like
This is so fucked up. But
if he didn't get the support that he got from his friends and community.
And I want to say there are tons of private people who, from an angry customer or from a angry person who didn't want to spend money, whatever the case may be, an ex-boyfriend who whatever, will spread that information and share that content to family members, younger siblings, parents, the whole 9 yards. So it's just a fucked up thing all around. That whole adult content space has a horrible what's it called? Like horrible problem in terms of how exposed they are. Like it's so sad, honestly. And this is just another example of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Him over this, they can go fuck themselves. Whether it be Joe Blow, bigoted Barry to fucking Tyreek Hill. He tweeted, "Oh, sketch done played, y'all." Tyreek, if I was you, I'd watch myself. You're fast, but you're not faster than a Google search, you fucking woman beater.
Emotional damage.
It's not like he.
Yeah, damn.
Yeah, fucking love Philip DeFranco, man.
I will also say, did you ever see the guy on TikTok or Instagram who's black but says nigga really weird? You know who I'm talking about?
I haven't the faintest idea who you're talking about.
Well, anyway, that's his whole gimmick. People get mad at him because they're like, you're black, but it sounds like you're a white person saying it. Please stop. And he's like, I'm one of you. Please, please understand. And then he just says it in the most like white way possible. Like if you said it, Evan. And then somebody came out and did some research on him. And it turned out that he was a little bit of a pedo. And yeah, the internet has not been favorable, as they shouldn't be. So good for them.
We talked about the
Good
Dr.
for the
Disrespect
internet.
shit, didn't we? Last week?
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
Cool.
another piece of shit. Letting that shit go on for 4 years, 5 years, playing fucking dumb. Very quickly, Evan, I wanted to talk about the I believe it's over. Yeah, it's the 12th. It's one day over. But I did purchase some games off of the Steam summer sale. Did you yourself purchase anything, man?
I have no money. I am very poor. If you want
Yeah,
to,
man.
if you want to help with that, you can go to himedia.gg/tip. $1 a month is a boon to my mental health. Please, I'm very poor. You get early access to things like the rundown, as well as exclusive videos and other perks, supplemented through our Discord. Please, I am very poor. Give me your money. But yes, continue.
Yeah. Pay the boy, please. He's the homie. He needs it. He's not just bullshitting y'all. I just wanted to say though that I got quite a few games during the sale. I got Stellaris, if you know what that is. Do
Vaguely?
you know what that is? So it's a Paradox not open world, but like real-time strategy game. But in the universe, you could get mods that make it like a Star Wars RTS, like an upgraded version of the garrison mode in Battlefront, something like that. And it's a really cool game. Prison Architect I got you know, just a cool little game. Picked that up for $3, which was crazy. Have a Nice Death, which is, I believe, a roguelike. What's it called? You die, you attack, platformer, almost like Code of the Lamb, Hades, things of that nature. But it had like a cool little gimmick where you play this little Grim Reaper fellow, and it kind of caught my eye, and it was on sale for $15. It's usually like 25, 30. I was like, fuck it, I might as well pick it up. I also got Bloons Tower Defense 6.
That's
It's
a good
game
one.
for my, yeah, it's a game from my childhood.
I got that,
believe it
too.
was, I think it was like $4, $5, $6. So I was like, fuck it, I gotta pick it up. And then for crazy,
When you
I-
open that up, the purchase version on Steam has a lot of shit that the Flash versions never had.
No, I bet. And I think you'll jump out of your seat for this. Both Sid Meier's Civilization 6, I was about to say 7, 7 just got announced, 6, and what's it called? Left 4 Dead 1 and 2, all for under like $5.
Hey.
Which is just insanity. Then I did also buy Xenoverse because Sparkling Zero, I need to get some practice in.
How's Baldur's Gate 3?
I haven't touched it because I've been waiting for Noelia and Ellen.
Why?
We're doing a joint fucking run. I'm just gonna start a new campaign, but I'm also not on my computer that much. I won't lie.
Yeah, have you ever thought about have you ever thought about like just getting a big ass HDMI cord, sticking
No,
it
I
in-
have one, and it sticks in my TV. My whole caveat, right, is whenever it's my night on the TV, the way we go is me, my girlfriend, and my roommate have two separate schedule, block scheduling or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
I get 2 days, they share 2 days because they usually watch the same thing, or they won't like,
And if
you know.
and if there is for whatever a rarity where either your girlfriend or Ellen want to watch something themselves, you'll usually sacrifice a day just out of like respect, just so they I got it.
Yeah.
I got you.
All right. What's it called? Whenever it is my day on the TV, I usually play the PS5. Not that I don't want to play the, PC. I just have so many games on the goddamn PS5 right now that I need to get into.
Why don't you play on your PC while they're playing on the Why don't you play on your PC while they're having their day then?
So there lies the other problem. Since Ellen has been working so much, it's been mainly me and Noelia watching TV together. So whenever it's her night, she usually is watching something that she wants me to watch. So then there's no more me being on my PC or PlayStation 4. I gotta watch what she wants to watch. Which, hey, don't get me wrong. I love the shit that she's been suggesting and putting on. I'm watching Atlanta right now. I literally just started it. Donald Glover, obviously, it's great. I just never got into it. But yeah, great stuff. I'm just like, what do I do? And then since I've been working as well, time has also been a little limited. Not too much though. So, but yeah, I just wanted to shout out a few of those games. Everything was on fucking sale, man. Like everything. It was crazy.
Yeah, I wish I had money. I wish I had a job. I would have bought a ton of shit.
No, I know, my boy.
So
But I-
briefly, so
Go ahead.
continue. I'm sorry. No, you go ahead. I cut you off.
I was just gonna say also, I bet you didn't know. I know you're gonna bring up a separate story, but I just wanted to say 1 second. Bet you didn't know that like 90% of the player base what is it? Helldivers 2 is like gone. And it's not really anything bad. It just had a
It's just-
really big blow up.
It
And
just
then
it just
it
finally dropped
fizzled.
off. Well, no, it's just like the people that enjoy playing it are still playing it. Like they
No. I just mean the hype over it has fizzled because you don't
Yeah.
see as many videos about it. You don't see as much marketing. Not that it's bad. Not that they haven't made great updates and put in great shit. I'm just saying.
it's like
what
it's
it is.
it's like the it like the whole purpose of marketing a game is not like the gigantic highs. Yes, those are good. Like the influx of money guarantees like the game's future, but like for a game like Helldivers, where like there is like some like long term monetized bit of it, you know, ultimately they've gotten to their end game. They've gotten to think like the player base is settled. The people that are going to be playing regularly and enjoy playing regularly are here to stay.
Almost like Warframe. Think Warframe.
Right.
That's
It's
what
like
it
Warframe like has like the people who come to it occasionally or like liked it like when it exploded because they wanted, you know, a better game than fucking Destiny. They wanted to play Destiny, but like not Destiny.
I gotta ask, with these games of as a service things being brought up, how do you feel about the First Descendant and Something Become Human, Two Human? They're both live action games.
I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about.
So they're both free to play, games as a service, video games that were both released. I think this week or the last 2 weeks. Something like that.
Okay.
They literally both came out. I heard that. Fuck. What the hell did I just say the name was? I had it and then
The Final Descent.
The First Descent. First Descent. I don't fucking know. Long story short, they said that was kind of more of a cash grab than more of your standard free to plays. Two Human has a lot of character customization. It's a little wonky though, so I would say give it a few like months, let it update that whole thing. But yeah, that just happened in the game sphere.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, my thing is that for like the controversy that were the result of Sony's choices with Helldivers, ultimately Helldivers has a pretty solid monetization path. In regards to
the people who will pay for the war bonds, the people who won't. Long story short, everybody has settled in. It's
everybody gets to have fun. Everybody can have fun. Yeah.
No.
And from correct me if I'm wrong, anybody in the comments, I'm pretty sure that every time they release a new war bond, like all the original
they get
war
something
bond,
for free.
The original war bonds are still there, so it's like there's no FOMO.
Oh, okay. That's the thing that I fucking hate about even premium paid games. That you will miss out on not necessarily content that will impact the gameplay and put a competitive edge over paying characters, but players. But it's just fucked up that I pay 60, 70, 80, up to $110 for a game, and then there's still content that I can miss out on that was there, and then they'll try selling it back to me. I mean, every fighting game has done this. Tekken 8 just opened up a premium shop. So
I think battle passes are not a bad form of progression. They are basically just another form of progression that you can see out on the line. But my issue with them is the FOMO aspect. I genuinely believe that if you're going to have a battle pass of any sort, it should be indefinite. It should be indefinite. I think you should do kind of what Halo does, which is just, you start in like the new like the Halo game that like fucking flopped. And correct me if I'm wrong, but this is my understanding of how it works: is you have like the battle pass that came with the base game, and then every subsequent battle pass is just added on to the end of it. And so ad nauseum, like in Infinity, whenever they create a new battle pass of new content, it's thrown on to the end. So like, you can get it whenever you want. And you can, and I think that if you want, as long as the battle pass doesn't have any like power in it, basically, like as long as like it's like all cosmetics or fun, I think that selling battle pass skips is completely viable so long as the battle pass content remains.
So, just to make sure I'm understanding your point, you're saying that you should make the battle passes free after they've expired when the new one comes out, right?
I
And
think
then,
I think that the I think I think what they should do is the battle pass itself should be
Mhm.
free. The battle pass
Okay.
itself should be free. The new content is tacked on to the end of the battle pass, and if you and this here's what this does. This rewards your most active
And then
player. This rewards
just
your most,
very quickly
yeah.
to let monetization in the form of tier
That-
skips for the
yes.
battle pass.
Correct.
Understandable.
So with
Gotcha.
this, so here's what this does. This makes it so, you're the people who play the most and play most actively just get the shit.
I will say, not
And-
that I don't understand the failure of this game, but I think also that's what Suicide Squad has tried to do. Don't get me wrong; they didn't have the juice from the beginning. The game
Yeah.
just wasn't good. But you know,
and the worst part is that while
that idea is good.
that even a turd will have a couple pennies in it sometimes.
No, literally.
So
I would even propose. I would even say, do what I was saying. Right, the new battle pass, the one that gets updated every few months or whatever, that one is premium, but it becomes free whenever it expires. And for the expired battle pass, you could buy the tier skips, like you were saying. I fuck with that idea. That's cool too.
Right, because here's the thing. At the end of the day, if you shut this game off and turn it back on 50 years from now, you can just play solo mode on over and over again with no players and still just grind out the fucking cosmetics you want anyways. Like
That's why, like, I understand the hate that it got when it initially dropped, but I think looking back after Mortal Kombat 1, people were really looking at it with rose-colored goggles on right now. Mortal Kombat 11 really did that. Don't get me wrong, there's online aspects where certain costumes you just can't get without fighting people online. And I respect it because that's what a fighting game honestly should be,
like
But
go fight
also,
actual people. Go fight actual people and get good.
raise the ranks and get it through, tier rewards or whatever.
Yeah, no, that I think that is like there's a YouTuber that goes by the name Bricky or Organ 8. He has this entire video. Here, let me see if I can just briefly bring it up because I forget the exact acronym, but like for me, it's his. He basically talks about how games kind of need three aspects to be good, to be not good, to be like to be kind of successful. And one of those was as he calls big dick factor. Like, if it's like in the old Halo games, you would have like your skull helmet and stuff that you got from like winning, and being like good enough at the game. And it is one of those things where it's you learn, you're just like, oh, I'd fucked, like, but you only get that through like winning. Like, I do think that like there need to be certain cosmetics, there need to be certain things that show like, hey, I'm built different.
Don't fuck with me.
Yeah, like that is ultimately I think one of like the big things that
I mean,
yeah.
Don't get me wrong. That was one of the biggest, acclaims and what do you want to call it? Attractions of the original Modern Warfares. I mean, when you saw somebody with an intervention that had extended mags and a fall camo on the ground in Modern Warfare 2, you knew you were dealing with a fucking Lee Harvey Oswald motherfucker. Like you weren't leaving the scene unscathed.
Yeah, like
type shit. So yeah, no, I definitely agree.
Yeah,
And I
it's
think
just
like
yeah, go for it. Sorry, continue.
games like Helldivers, games like Warframe, especially whenever you go to the relays and shit like that, and you see the other characters and you go on missions and you see all the fucking cosmetic items and all the shit that's going on there. Like, I understand you and I have a difference. There has to be that type of factor into games. I think too many games are emphasizing the paid monetization of online aspects and battle passes. That I mean, like, literally, I think it was this week or last week, we just heard the real reason we never got the story DLC for GTA 5, and it's because GTA Online just became the fucking cash cow. And even though they recorded everything, it didn't make sense to release it because it wasn't going to compete with GTA Online.
Yeah.
I think, in my opinion, they should have just fucking released it for free. They already had the goddamn thing, but let's not get into that.
Yeah, I feel that. But the CBT I was talking about from Bricky said it was casual accessibility, easy to understand, easy to grind, good for noobs and vets. Big dick factor, rewarding cosmetics, show off to other players, prove you main X. And time investment unlocks for years, multiple avenues tailored to veterans. Which I think is I'm gonna send you this video so you can watch it yourself.
Yeah, please.
I think he genuinely does a fairly decent job of explaining it better than I could here. But yeah, it's just the whole battle pass thing's just I think my biggest I don't necessarily have a problem with live service games, and might I even add like games that you pay up front for, as long as they are games that are do have like live long-term support goals in mind. With more if you have people actively on payroll developing content for a game, you know what? I think like if you paid a full price for a game and there's an aspect of the game that is popular that people enjoy, I think having cosmetics and things available in that part of the game is justifiable, in my opinion. I think that is I think that's kind of understandable because you got to pay people's payroll. You got to, at a certain point, it just becomes a sink. And if it's not making that money, the suits at the top are just going to kill it, which, was part of let's be fucking for real. Was a big reason why there was a Call of Duty every fucking year. It's because up until a certain point, they didn't have that stuff. So they just made a new one. And now
Treyarch seems to be like the only consistent one that makes somewhat of what they used to make. I'm not saying it's the same, but it seems somewhat.
Well, I mean, basically the way it works now is that they have three studios in rotation making Call of Duty games at a time. They have Treyarch, they have Sledgehammer,
and Infinity War. But the Infinity War, not Modern Warfare 3, supposedly the multiplayer in that is like good, but it's literally a carbon copy of Modern Warfare 2, the original, not the last year version or what the fuck ever. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, why is it that only one out of these three studios continuously makes good content and the other two are hit or miss if they don't rely on original traits?
Infinity Ward seems to be more consistent. Seems to do better content than Sledgehammer.
They go for, I won't lie, like Infinity Ward has a great power of using gimmicks. Like they definitely change it up. Don't get me wrong,
but never in a way that shakes the formula.
Yeah, exactly. Like they'll give it a whole new retexturing, but then it'll feel exactly like 2 years ago or 3 years ago game. And it's like, come on, guys. I thought this was gonna be bigger.
Do you know who made Vanguard? Call of Duty Vanguard?
That was Sledgehammer. Yeah. Yeah.
Because here's the thing, I don't judge Call of Duty by its multiplayer or even its single player campaign. I judge it by its arcade mode. I judge Call of Duty games by their arcade mode.
Yeah, by their zombies mode, spec ops, extra mode, whatever.
Invasion, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I ultimately do feel that like the arcade modes are the most fun part about Call of Duty for me. Personally, I couldn't give less of a shit about the PvP. Couldn't the story modes. The stories used to be like the solo campaigns. Like I used to buy Call
They
of
used to
Duty.
be fun.
I used to buy Call of Duty for the solo campaigns, and I used to buy Call of Duty for the zombies modes, and that was it.
Yeah.
Call of,
Not
Call of
sure
Duty
if you were-
Zombies was just couch co-op party game for me. That's what it was after I finished the solo mode.
Yeah, I mean, between Black Ops 1, all the Black Ops zombies are consistently good. Even if you don't like necessarily the changes they make, you recognize that the gameplay is
I'd
good.
say 4 was probably my least favorite. Like Call of Duty, Black Ops 4, like the mechanics there were probably my least favorite.
But it's like the pizza analogy. Like, you could have bad pizza, but it's not the worst food you could have. Right.
Correct. Now, I did see. I never played Call of Duty Ghosts, so I never got to experience the.
That one was bad.
I hear that like people are looking back at it as just like that like the actual like a lot of the gameplay mechanics and decisions that they did with it, including in the arcade mode that they had for it, from what I hear, was actually pretty verbose and excellent in a lot of ways. Especially,
I'm going off the single player because number one, it ends on a cliffhanger, and then they never announced the Ghost 2. That's the first thing. And then what's it called? The multiplayer was like really a drag, but the arcade mode was pretty fun.
I heard the arcade mode was good. I heard that the perk mode and system that they had in Ghost was actually really good too. Even if the I do wonder, like outside looking in hindsight, how much of the hate towards Ghost was just a sort of community backlash to just kind of the monotony of Call of Duty at that point. Which, I mean, you know, Titanfall came out, I think, alongside Ghosts too. So, you know, that kind of just...
That I remember that year. I literally got the special edition of fucking Call of Duty Ghosts, right? And then after I played it, like I got the Prestige edition or what the fuck ever, veteran, whatever it was. After I played it, I was like, this shit is trash. Get me Titanfall. Never mind. Fuck Call of Duty. But yeah, I play Titanfall out of spite.
I heard
it was good.
I heard Titanfall 2 got an update recently, like a stability and security update recently. So like, it's still
that single player is supposedly really good.
Yeah. At least Titanfall 2 single player is. But then again, like, Respawn actually fucking listened to people and stuff. And it bums me out that, like, Respawn is now just, like, Apex Legends generator dot studio, so... I don't know. I feel like Respawn, if they, like, didn't have to, like, maintain and constantly keep content cranked out for Apex, I feel like they probably would do a Titanfall 3. And honestly,
Probably.
I think if Respawn did make Titanfall 3, it would be like I think that because they have Apex, that they would just they're like, we don't want another fucking live service. Here's our content roadmap for it, and then after that, we're just gonna have security imbalance patches occasionally. Like, it just kind of just like maintain it like at arm's length after a couple of years. Like they have been done with Titanfall 2. Titanfall 2, from what I hear, is still like remarkably playable.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's mobile, high mobility and shit like that. Like it's really seamless. I was also gonna say, I don't understand. I understand it, but I don't understand why this horror stories and the failures out of big companies trying to make live service games has not deterred big studios and big companies from trying to do live service games.
It is because ultimately the amount of money a live service game can generate is too enticing for them not to try and waste billions of dollars trying to get a successful one going. Now,
no, I know.
Now, granted, I think that if every company wants to have a live service game, have that live service game. But once you get a successful one that has legs, don't make another.
Yeah, go back to
because
doing what you were doing.
right, because here's the thing, it's like ultimately everybody has like here's the thing that people forget. Everybody has like their main game, their main live service game, their main comfort game that they play, right? They're like, this is a live service game that is constant. Everybody has like one that they go back to and they enjoy.
And it's very, very difficult to make a player go from one to the other or play both because they're so time consuming.
Correct. So for me, my issue is that I have a couple live service games that I genuinely enjoy playing, and my time is split between them, and therefore my emotional investment in them is split. Like, I love Elder Scrolls Online. It was my first MMO, like the first MMO I actually enjoyed. I have 5,000 hours in that fucking game.
I don't think I have 5,000 hours in a single game.
Right? So like I've played that game for well over 6-7 years, like 6 years, and I played a disgusting amount of it. But like I also like Fallout 76. I also like No Man's Sky. These are like while No Man's Sky ostensibly is not necessarily a like if you bought it and downloaded it tomorrow without any any Wi-Fi or anything, like you'd be fine. You could still play it, like it's whatever. But like they put out a fucking content update, a free content update for free every 3 months like clockwork. So like there's always a reason to jump back into the fucking game. Fallout 76 released a new expansion, and I still haven't gotten into it to do it because I still have to go play I still have a bunch of content I have to do in the Elder Scrolls Online, and like so it's like for like ultimately what point I was trying to make is that everybody has like their one live service. And there is room in the market for more live services, but there isn't room in the market for every game to be a live service. If you want to do
it becomes too much.
It does.
Okay.
Now, granted, like if you are once you have that live service under your company umbrella, foster it. You need to do everything in your power to make people want to stay, to make people feel valued and enjoy it. And then if you're going to have like games that have like a longer support cycle, like you have like a Helldivers, for example. Helldivers is not. I don't think is that is a game that isn't going to appeal to most people to be their one hyper obsession. It is going to be for some. There were definitely people that were like that with the original Helldivers, but it's not going to be like that for everybody. So one of the things you kind of have to keep in mind is okay, how do we get people like you need to like do something like we suggested, like where you like have your progression be like this battle pass thing, and then like you tack it on at the end, like, or you need to
because I think this is also a lot of realities for gamers. When there are so many options for so many different live service games, so many different battle passes on these live service games, you already factor in work, you already factor in sleep, and then you already have the limited amount of time split of your free time split between spending time with family, actually playing video games, friends, the whole 9 yards, right?
Yeah. There's only 8 hours in a day, and realistically, we only have 8 of them to ourselves to do what we want.
Exactly. And if you work more, you have less. If you sleep more, you have less. So the whole
family,
you have less. So the whole 9 yards.
You and I are both in committed relationships.
But we don't have families. Not yet.
We not yeah. But like even so, having a relationship still eats, anywhere from 3 to 5 hours of your day by itself.
If it's not 50% of your day in terms of your free time, then it's probably you're either on different working schedules or it might not be the best.
or either you're fucking up or one of y'all are fucking up. Yeah. So like ultimately, like, the big thing is that what I think also in this ecosystem, what ends up happening is that the word of mouth of journalists, like certain figures in the space, and your fellow gamers and friends that play games becomes more valuable, because you can't trust like PC Gamer, or any of the the typical games media, because ultimately you have to remember this gaming news press are like it's akin to like industry press. Like it's like a fucking like a restaurant. It's like a fucking like a manufacturing a press for like an industry type of thing, like industry news. That's what it's not for us. Like,
yeah, no, I know.
It's basically reporting on like what's going on in the industry type of thing. That's what people have to remember. PC gamer and things like that, they are not, and IGN especially, aren't reporting to us. They are reporting to the competitors of other companies about what's going on in the industry. They're industry rags. So for us, when I get a critical mass of people in my life and that I play games saying, hey, you got to try this game, I say, okay, I'm gonna go try this game. And so what ends up happening is that you do have games like your Elden Rings, you do have your games like your Spider-Mans, you do have your games like Baldur's Gate. Not to say that all three of those are necessarily on like the same playing field per se. But
just in terms of like scale, publicity, the whole 9 yards.
Good games that are well liked and that have a critical mass of people that say, hey, you should try this. We're living in an environment now where like actually good games that aren't like are suggested more than like the slop that comes out. Like if EA puts out like a new
and just to lend credit to your point, I will also say I think a lot of the time video game purchases are done because of word of mouth more so than advertisement.
It is the community is I think one of like, while yes, games that spend $1 million on marketing will usually make multiple millions more back in copy sales. Ultimately, if there's like people would talk and I don't know anybody. The only person I know who played Suicide Squad was my buddy Sean, and he streamed it for his channel as a joke. Talk about how bad it was.
Yeah, so there you go. If that's the type of shit that you're seeing about a video game, you're less likely to go experience it.
If I wanted to experience it, I'm just gonna go watch his VODs.
No, literally. I also want to say, I have a slight disdain for mobile gamers in terms of, not because they're not real gamers or what the fuck ever the mainstream argument is. My whole thing is when video game companies started to monetize time, I think that us as gamers really got fucked by that because, as we're already stating, 8 hours in a day, shit is already fucking limited.
Well, the thing is that when they implemented it, like, we pushed back.
Don't get me wrong,
but
I understand the fucking just before we get into like the initial pushback and shit like that, I understand the appeal of stopping that upgrade from lasting 10 hours as opposed to 7, what the fuck ever, and I totally get how it's almost like gambling. I understand the shady aspects of it from the video game companies. I'm just like, fuck, man, we're in this situation now because of how profitable that shit has been for every fucking buddy. And it's sad.
Yeah, here's the biggest sadness, dude.
So this is Pirate
Yeah,
Software.
here's the biggest.
Love him. He's very entertaining. Good dude.
Great guy. Love his shorts. Absolute god.
Yep. So I'm just, this is relevant to what you just said, so I'm gonna bring this up.
Sadness, dude. I worked 2 years of overtime straight on StarCraft 2, Wings of Liberty. StarCraft 2 Wings of Liberty made less money than the horse, the first Sparkle Pony horse in World of Warcraft. A $15 microtransaction horse made more money than StarCraft 2. That's it. That's the whole meme, dude. You're wondering why these companies do microtransactions? Because dipshits keep buying all of them. Yeah, here's the biggest...
Yeah.
And I don't have complete disdain for people who buy microtransactions and shit like that. Obviously, I do it as well. I'm not gonna fucking sit here
Yeah,
and criticize people that
I play
do
Yu-Gi-Oh!
it.
Master Duel. I've bought probably at least $1,000 worth of gems.
But
Or
it's
more at
just
this
so
point.
fucked. Especially in games where you already pay these fucking premiums just to get access to the content. Then the shit gets pulled away from you artificially. Not because of any real timeline. It's digital content. How much fucking space does it take up on a server?
Yeah, here's my thing, right? It's just ultimately, I think if I were to start like make a game tomorrow and I wanted it to be monetized in whatever way, I think that a lot of the ways that I would do it is I think I would, you know, I think, at having, like a progression line where with that's cosmetics only that you can buy, your way through. There will be obviously a handful of cosmetics that are earn only, get that, big dick factor basically. And then like if I'm selling like cosmetics and shit, you know, it's there's no fucking FOMO or rotation of them. It's just they're just there.
Yeah.
Ultimately,
Yeah, man.
that's part of the reason I think like ultimately I stick with like more traditional um a live service in the form of like an Elder Scrolls Online. um there is so many cool looking armors and stuff just in the base game by itself, and you can mix styles and stuff together using the outfit system, so you get like a verbose like options and stuff, which is pretty cool. Ultimately, there's no need for me to like spend a lot of money on clothing or things like that. I have a fuck ton. Like, don't get me wrong, I have a fuck ton because like, you know,
That's playing the game.
that's playing the game. Like, I also like have an Elder Scrolls Online subscription for the year, and which means every month I get 15 plus $16 worth of like the premium currency with my purchase of like ESO Plus, which is just honestly, like, if you play Elder Scrolls Online, like, and you've played WoW in the past, just pay for ESO Plus. The craft bag is worth it. You get access to all the DLC, so you don't have to pay for it out of pocket. It's fine. And honestly, you get like $15 a month in the currency anyways. So it's like you're getting like
It doesn't hurt. I know what you're saying.
It
Yeah.
doesn't hurt. But like, also the nice part about Elder Scrolls Online is it's an MMO that's pay once, play forever.
Yeah, but here's also the thing, like exactly like Omi was saying in the video, uh, whatever bullshit content thing, I don't fucking know, a gun skin in Call of Duty will make more money than a Hades 2 will ever make. And it's just like, fuck man, what do you do? What do you do? Thankfully, it's not a direct competition in the form of like they already have these studios inside of their the binary PlayStation, Xbox studio fucking Venn diagram there. But it's fucked. It's fucked.
Yeah, the only thing I will say is that Supergiant is a team of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 people. 24, 25 people working in Supergiant Games. These are the people that made Hades 1 and 2. And here's my thing, right? It's like, yes, I agree that ultimately we're kind of in an indie renaissance at present.
Without a doubt.
Like-
And that's why I
like,
say
the-
it's
the
not
be-
a direct competition.
Yeah, the best games are going to come from indie developers. Like, I think like games like priced around the $40 mark, like that is like you're
40 and below.
the 40 and below. Like you're between the paying for a game that costs between $20 and $40 is usually a price point where you're going to get a pretty solid gameplay experience. Like Stardew Valley is $20.
It's usually on sale for 15, 10.
Yeah,
Easily.
you know what else is $40? Helldivers. Power World. Both, excellent AA games that are definitely worth your time and investment. And so
but
it's like
drastically different.
drastically different. And it's like, and then what came out in like the weeks after like Power World and Helldivers 2, Skull and Bones, a game that costs by default $70, I think. Yeah,
60 maybe on PC, probably
maybe.
not. But and if you're buying the Ultimate Edition, fucking $110 on that shit. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying anything bad about $110 on certain edition of fucking games, especially on the shit that you get. But I am like, how much more grind? Here's my thing. I shouldn't feel like I'm clocking in at work if I'm playing your game. If that's the case, then your game is dead to me.
Yep. So if I look at the standard edition of the game, it is $60, but they have it heavily discounted to $30.
Because it's done poorly. Poorly. And mind you, remember this also. I know they dropped the price, but on the Ultimate Edition or Premium Edition, whatever it was, you also got 3 days of early access. That isn't there anymore. If they go to a certain price, it's wrong, You're losing out on content that was sold to you.
Yeah. Here's my thing, right? It's like, I paid for the deluxe edition of Starfield to be able to play it early.
That is an aspect of the reason why people will pay for something. You get to experience the thing earlier.
Which is like, ultimately that just means that the release date is like,
It means the release date is 3 days, 5 days earlier than it actually is, and it just fucks over the people that buy the base game. I totally agree.
Here's my thing, right? Like, the deluxe edition of Skull and Bones. There's a standard, deluxe, and premium. Standard is 60 normally, deluxe is 75, premium is 90. Right? We're in the age where the standard edition is not the base experience of the game. You want to pay for at least the deluxe edition. Like at least the mid-range one. Now, for the truly scummy companies like EA, if you want the real experience playing the game, you gotta get the premium edition.
Yeah. It honestly depends on the type of game that you're talking about. Because as well, like, I'll even say this, right? I'm gonna buy Sparkling Zero $110 whenever I have it, right? No fucking question. Same thing with Space Marine 2. The thing about it, I won't sit here and lie, is if you don't pre-order the game, you don't get some of the characters that would be considered like main canon. And maybe you get them through story progression or what the fuck ever, but like that does kind of fuck over some of the fan base that might not have the money until the game releases or after. So I'm definitely not turning a blind eye to shit. But I will also say Ubisoft games tend to be, if you buy the like premium edition, the most expensive, it's pretty much just finishing the game faster. That's what it really is.
Which is like, at that point, you're just spending money to have less fun.
And I mean, our man, Pirate, that's his name, right? Pirate something. Whatever. He said that in a different short, where like you're actually paying to lose because you're missing out on more of the game. The challenge is a part of the game, and if you pay to overcome that challenge, you're paying to lose out on some of that experience, some of that grind. Right,
and it's like also like when the grind is so impossible that you have to like, there's like, I talked about this in my Shadow of the Earth retreat, right? Like you should spend about an hour and a half, 2 hours max on a boss in Elden. Because it should take you about if you play through a bunch of Elden Ring, and you played FromSoft games before, and you understand that, okay, I've got to learn how to dodge roll this, do this, don't do this, and you like that process of learning takes time, and however long it should be. Now, however long that time learning of the curve should be. Now, here's the thing, right? At a certain point, if I'm spending, I spent 10 hours total fighting the final boss of the Elden Ring DLC. At the 6-hour mark, I realized the build I had, which had gotten me through every other fight in every other aspect of the game, was not cutting it. I had to switch. Now, granted, that is an indicative of poor gameplay design, where I have been able to go through the game and play with this build and adapt and stuff and be fine. Now I have to change all of my gear, change all of my strats and everything to do it. That doesn't feel good. That's indicative of I would say that the final boss of the Elden Ring DLC is poorly designed in that way, because it's punishing in ways that are not good. If you want to go check that out, go check out the Shadow of the Earth Tree review on my channel. It was published this past Thursday at time of when you see this on day of release. But the reason I say all that is, when you're spending, there is a critical amount of time that a task in a game should take for you to be able to move on. Right. This is one of the issues.
Or for you, real quick, or for you to recognize that your round hole, square peg round holing it.
Right. There's another example of this is this Pow World. Right. In Pow World, you start by really fast progression. You're like, okay, I'm leveling up. I'm unlocking new things. I'm doing this and this. And then once you hit the mid 30s, high 30s. Shit starts to slowing down. Once you hit level 30, things should start slowing down a little bit more. Once you hit 35, the higher 30s, it starts slowing down even more. And once you hit the 40s, progression starts slowing more to a crawl, because the gameplay loop is collecting resources, going around collecting resources, crafting resources, so you can then expend those resources when you go out exploring more of the map. It's a game of prep and automating that prep to be quicker, so you can get out and explore more. It is if you like shit like Minecraft, Factorio, those things, it feels good to do. But at a certain point, I'm spending an hour and a half getting everything together and crafted, and then I'm spending about 20-30 minutes doing this, that can be frustrating, which is part of the reason they made it in frequent in patches updating the game. They've changed that to not be the case. They've changed the game to they've changed the game. They've added aspects of the game to make that grind easier, so you can get out and explore more. For games say an Assassin's Creed Odyssey, that's a good example. Meadow loves it, and it's not a bad game by any means. But once you get to the higher levels, you got to spend money. Unless you want to spend hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours grinding. And I already knew this was going to be the case. That that's what was going to end up happening. So back when Bella started playing, I earmarked $200 for her to just buy the shit she needed to get ready to go. And
yeah, I mean, I will say that is one of the benefits of these games going on discount, going on sale, becoming less expensive. The DLC of these games, sometimes ranging from 200 full bucks to get everything, depending on the amount of DLC, to $85, $75, $50, depending on the discount or whatever. I will say that's a big, benefit for us, especially since everything is so cross-platform. You could buy shit everywhere. You'll get a discount anywhere, the whole 9 yards. I will just say it feels so fucked that after that, the same experience you were talking about with Elder Scrolls, that I'm talking about with Warframe, that you're talking about with Fallout 76, these live service games that actually respect your time, respect the grind that you're going on, it never makes you feel like, okay, now I have to shell out 20-30 bucks for me to actually make progress, because if I don't, the next 4 or 5 days of my life whenever I play this game is only going to be dedicated to this task. And if it's something like a FromSoft game where you're aware of that aspect because that's the appeal, then yeah, of course I respect it because you're upfront. There's no, like, could you imagine if Sekiro had like a gun DLC where everything was just a single bullet? You know how mad people would be? Like, that's the shit that I'm talking about. It just feels so fucked.
Yeah. You want to move on? You want to do one more story before we call it?
Yeah, sure.
Do you know about the Huck 2 girl?
Yes, I do.
It's such a fucking boomer conservative meme, dude.
I could not be more indifferent on this subject. I'm
People
not
were-
gonna
peop-
lie though.
Go ahead.
Just very quickly, I found it funny. Noelia had such a visceral reaction to her being brought up, and I'm like, I understand it, but also I'm not gonna go out of my way to give this person any real estate in my mind.
Here's the thing. I only know her for just her memes and shit were on my For You page, and then I didn't engage with it much at all. So she disappeared for a time, and she's done some podcasts. Apparently, a family friend of hers, basically her dad's best friend or some shit, started selling hats and shit, and giving her the proceeds so she'd at least get some benefit out of it, which was good. She went on a podcast and said, "Yeah, I ain't fucking voting for Trump. It's fucking great." And people were really upset about that because, like I said, it's a boomer conservative meme, and the whole purpose of the Huck 2 girl was so men who mediocre men who are shitty partners and don't know how to eat pussy, send it to their wives and girlfriends saying,
Literally.
Because it's here's the thing. You know who what the Huck 2 meme is popular with? People that don't have a healthy sex life.
Yeah, probably.
It's with people with partners who either don't have the experience, don't have experience, don't have experiences. It's they're cunnilingus and fellatio is not present in conservative relationships by and large.
Probably not.
You know what I mean? Lauren Boebert doing some wild shit with her partners and stuff, giving them handies in theaters and stuff like that is that's
as far as they go. That's their kink.
That's there's some exceptions to that. Some of them might swing a little bit, whatever. But by and large, most of the people that subscribe to a moderate conservative lifestyle that are the types of people that do have the Huck 2 girl present in their existence. These people aren't eating their partner's genitalia. They're not doing that shit.
Yeah, I will also say the reaction either way of her gaining fame, either from conservative people, non-conservative, whatever the case may be, her gaining followers and her receiving hate based on it and everything else in this world.
I haven't seen her getting much hate, honestly.
Just
outside of outside of the insane puritanical people, but then again, they hate everything.
Not even that. People were just like, "Hey, we don't have to follow her" and things like that. It just makes me wish that these presidents and world leaders would finally press the red button. Do it. Come on, do it. Yeah. I'm over it all. Yeah.
As am I. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening to the rundown. We appreciate your time, and your listenership. We're here with another very large episode compared to what we normally do, but that's good. Next week, we're going to, hypothetically, depending if we can get everybody I want to have a conversation, we're going to have some more other creators and panelists next week. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it might fall through. We've had one RSVP. The other one is still 50-50, so we'll see if we have to push it back further, but it depends. Regardless, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening. This has been the rundown. We can go follow, if you want to follow Brian, you can do so at youtube.com/no2Brian. You can find him on Instagram at no.2_Brian. And yeah. Ryan for
Hey,
Ryan
guys.
or some shit, I guess.
Look at me before we quit. Look at me. I got the episode 2 hair from Obi-Wan. Look.
He's got that Qui-Gon Jinn drip. Like the fucking what's his name? It's Qui-Gon Jinn.
Who are we talking about?
Obi-Wan's master.
Qui-Gon.
Yeah. Did I say it right? Qui-Gon Jinn?
Yeah, that's right.
All right, go away.